Welcome everyone, this is Alan with Daily Armor of God. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you're all doing well. This is my Finishing the Bible 1 Year Project Day 14. We are using blueletterbible.org as our tool, and we're using King James Version. And we will be reading from Genesis chapters 41 and 42 for today's Bible reading plan. So, let's get to it. Well, first, let me say this. Okay, we're learning about Joseph, and Joseph is really getting messed with here, really bad by everyone. So first, okay, this is what I've learned so far, just to recap. I'm not really doing this in every video, but I just want to recap specifically for this. So Joseph, hated on by his brothers, they initially wanted to kill him. So they stripped him of his robe, threw him in a pit, then sold him as a slave, and then he was sold into Egypt under the Pharaoh, and then the Lord is with Jacob, so the Lord has been blessing Jacob, and hence the Pharaoh as well, since he's in close proximity. But then all of a sudden, the Pharaoh's wife tempted him, and so since he denied the Pharaoh's wife and didn't want to betray his master and sin against God, she spoke out against him, saying that he did lay with her, even though he didn't. So now Pharaoh cast him into the dungeon, and then Pharaoh cast his butler and somebody else into the dungeon with him, and then his butler had Jacob interpret a dream for him, and Jacob asked him if he could remember Jacob when he talks to Pharaoh. And of course, the butler did not remember Jacob. And that's where we left off in Genesis chapter 40. So here we are at Genesis 41:1, Pharaoh's dream. So let's get started. And it came to pass at the end of the 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine and fat-fleshed, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine did eat up 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept, and dreamed that the second time, and behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin ears, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all magicians of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them of this dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me in a ward of the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream in one night, and I and he, and we dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was with us a young man, and a Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard, and we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me and he restored unto mine office, and him he hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved himself, and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee, that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me, God shall give the Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill-favored and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they have eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I awoke, and I saw my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered thin, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them, and the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, The dream of the Pharaoh is one. God hath shewed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. Wow. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he sheweth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by the reason of the famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice, it is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man, discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of the Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And the food shall be for store to land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, Can we find such a one as this, a man in whom the Spirit of God is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Forasmuch as God hath shewed me thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. It shall be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a golden chain about his neck. And he made him to ride in the 2nd chariot which he had, and they cried before him, Bow the knee. And he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zapnath-paneah. And he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, the priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of the Pharaoh, and went throughout the land of Egypt. And in the 7 plenteous years the earth brought forth by handfuls. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities. The food of the field which was round about every city laid he up in the same. And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the year of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh. For God, he said, hath made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second called Ephraim. For God hath caused me to be fruitful in the name of my affliction. And the 7 years of plenteousness that was in the land of Egypt were ended. And the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said. And the dearth was in all lands, but in the land of Egypt there was bread. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph, what he saith to you, do. And the famine was all over the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses, and sold unto the Egyptians, and famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all the lands. Okay, things are looking up for Joseph now. Alright, that was chapter 41. Moving on to chapter 42. Genesis 42:1. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, Why do you look one upon another? And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither, and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, Lest peradventure mischief befall him. And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and he it was sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they did not know him. Wow, how do they not know him? Anyway, and Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, Ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said unto him, Nay, my lord, but to buy food are thy servants come. We are all one man's sons, we are true men, thy servants are no spies. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said, Thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan, and behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. And Joseph said unto them, That is it that I spake unto you, saying, Ye are spies. Hereby ye shall be provided by the life of Pharaoh. Ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you. Or else, by the life of Pharaoh, surely ye are spies. And he put them all together into the ward 3 days. And Joseph said unto them from the 3rd day, This do and live, for I fear God. If ye be true men, let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye, carry corn for the famine of your houses. But bring your youngest brother unto me, so shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so. They said to one another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us. And Reuben answered them, saying, Spake I not unto you, saying, Do not sin against the child, and ye would not hear? Therefore, behold, also his blood is required. And they spake not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. And he turned himself about from them, and wept, and returned to them again, and communed with them, and took from them Simon, and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn, and restore every man's money unto his sack, and to give them provision for the way. And thus he did unto them. And they laden their asses with corn, and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender in the inn, he espied his money, for behold, it was in the sack's mouth. And he said unto his brother, My money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they were afraid, saying to one another, What is it that God hath done unto us? Hang on a sec, guys. So, my money is restored. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. So, okay, I'm gonna have to come back to that, guys. That's to figure out what's going on here. And let's just move on. 42, Genesis 42:29. And they came unto Jacob their father unto the land of Canaan, and told them all that befell unto them, saying, The man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, We are true men, we are no spies. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father, one is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, Hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then I shall know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So I will deliver you to your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. When both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. Okay, and Jacob their father said unto them, Me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Simon is not, and you will take Benjamin away. All these things are against me. And Reuben spake unto his father, saying, Slay my 2 sons, if I bring him not thee. Deliver him into my hands, and I will bring him to thee again. And he said, My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way in which ye go, then ye shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. Okay, that was Genesis 42. I've never really done this before. But guys, I'm going to check my physical Bible real quick. Just bear with me, because today is only 2 chapters, Genesis 40 and 41. I just want to check real quick, to get some context on this, because I'm kind of confused as to what's going on here. Sometimes King James Version is a little rough, let me tell you that. So, if you just bear with me one moment, like I said, I don't usually do this, but I just need to know what's going on here. 42. So, Joseph remembered the dreams, okay. Brothers. Okay. Okay, anyway, guys. Sorry. I just want to check that and see if we can make some sense of it together, in the same recording. But I'm going to have to do more research on this by myself, or look it up, what's going on. If you guys have any insight on this, you can let me know down in the comments. I would love to talk with you about what's going on with Joseph. This whole chapter, 42. 41 too was kind of confusing. So chapter 42, I may reread on my own, just because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So from what my understanding is, his brothers came into the land to buy corn because of the famine. Joseph saw them and knew them as his brothers, but his brothers did not know Joseph. So I'm not sure if Joseph is testing them or if Joseph is having revenge on them. I'm not sure. Like I said, I need to do more research. So if you guys know, please let me know. Please let me know your interpretation. I would love some more context. I would love some more insights on this chapter, because it is really interesting. What's happening so far is very interesting to me, but I am just a little tad bit confused. Just a wee bit confused. So if you could let me know, that'd be great. So, I'm just going to pray real quick and then we'll end. So, dear Lord Jesus, thank you so much for today. Thank you for all that you have given us. I pray, Lord, that we can continue to read and learn your word. I pray that you give us discernment and knowledge and understanding of your word. And I pray that you can continue to give us motivation to learn and read your word and pray to you every day and put you first in all things. Thank you for all that you have done and all that you will do. In your precious holy name, Lord. Amen. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. There's only 2 chapters today because they were longer chapters. But yes, hopefully see you guys tomorrow with the next few verses. So tomorrow's verses are 43, 44, and 45. So 3, we're going back to the normal 3 tomorrow. But yeah, today was only 2. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a good evening, morning, night, wherever you're at. And if you have any insight as to what's going on here with Joseph, I don't know if he's testing them or what, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to get your guys' interpretation and thoughts. So thank you again, guys. As always, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Have a good one, guys. Put God first in everything you do, and God bless. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.